Hello, it's Liz from Old Stables Craft. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. I have got a project that I've made in my head, but I haven't actually made yet. I have done some prep, and I'm hoping it's going to work. So let me flip the camera down and we'll take a look at what I have planned. So I have got out the Friendship Royalty stamp set. It's got all these lovely crowns or tiaras. You can make a magic wand, so a fairy one with a star and the swirl, and it's just, yeah. We've got sentiments that are your friendship royalty, to the birthday queen if the crown fits, thanks for fixing my crown, you were born to be fabulous, not perfect. So it's a really fun set. It's a $1 Million Achiever set, and I cannot remember which demonstrator it was. I will check and I'll put it on my website on the blog post for this project. So the prep I have done, I've got a basic white card base, I've got a piece of basic white which I have run through using this 3D embossing folder. It's one of the online exclusives. I think they're the 3D Basics embossing folders. Some really stunning embossing folders. There's a polka dot, there's a sort of hatch, and then there's this one. So I've got that. I've got a piece of the More Dazzle glitter paper, which is stunning, and I've got a piece of vellum. I will be adding some heat embossing and some adhesive gems. Now obviously sticking vellum to anything is a challenge, and I'm hoping that I've worked out how to do it so it doesn't show. I've mounted up the Your Friendship Royalty and the larger of the two tiaras. I'm going to start with some Versamark. So always need my embossing buddy. I keep my embossing buddy on my Versamark, and I store my Versamark upside down. That way the ink's in the right place when I need it. So let's ink up my tiara first. And as I say, I'm hoping that the plan I have in my head will work. So I'm going to pop this onto my grid paper. It's, I want to say if I push it up there, I can get it's 3 inches by 4 inches. So it's like a Memories and More card. So if I have the middle of 4 inches is 2, so if I come in, we're coming to here, so that's the midpoint, and then so long as these two ends are on the same grid line, it should be straight. So let's keep that central. So there and there, go back a bit. That should be square and central. What do you reckon? Of course we don't know yet because we can't see it. So let's ink up my next stamp. Let's see if I can just about see where I have stamped. So long as I come down from there and am central and straight, I think if I go there, I'll be golden, or in this case, silver, because I'm going to use silver embossing powder. So this is the moment where we discover whether that has all worked. Looks like it, but who knows. So now vellum is tricky stuff. It's static, it's see-through, it's delicate, and all those things. So you do need to be a little bit careful. I'm just going to flick behind the F. I'm going to come in with a brush to get rid of some stray embossing powder. But I think we're about good to go. So let me grab my brush, which is part of the Embossing Additions set. So it's got some nice stiff bristles which are perfect for getting rid of any little stray bits. Is there anything else? No. Ooh, there. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over and just very gently brush across the back, because it's possible that I've picked up some embossing powder on the back, and when I melt the embossing powder that will show up on the front. So grab my trusty cheese board and pop that there and get my heat gun. Sorry about the noise, there's not much I can do to stop the noise. Right, now this is going to go very quickly, so you don't want to be hanging around. So as soon as it starts to melt, you need to move your heat gun, because it will melt very, very quickly. So once it gets going, it gets going. And if you've got any little bits that are still a bit granular, you can go back in and remelt those. But that should be a-okay. And it is. And it's central and everything. Whoa. Okay. So I need to grab my embellishment. So I'm thinking I want iridescent gems, which are there, rhinestones, because that will give me some bling. Don't think there's anything more suitable. I could use ordinary rhinestones, but they seem a bit dull somehow. Eeny, meeny, eeny, meeny. No, I'm going to go for iridescent. So take your pick, covering up the sharp end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover quite a lot of these with rhinestones. So this is a card for a dear, dear friend. You do not want to be doing this for, you know, just a pal, because we are going to be using quite a lot of rhinestones. But I love my embellishments. I cannot tell you how many I order at a go. I tend to buy them in... Whoa! Did that flick? No, it's attached to my... It's attached to my take your pick. There we are. So yes, I tend to buy them in multiples, which I know is probably a bit naughty, but you know. I don't ever want to be in a position where I can't use an embellishment because I haven't got it. So if I know it exists, I like to know I've got it. So as soon as I open my last but one packet, I reorder. So just saying. Right, so we've got quite a lot of bling going on there, but I'm going to add more. So I'm going to go up to the next size. Come on. And pop those there. Let's go over to the side that I've already started. And I may even have to come in with more. There's a friend of mine who, when it comes to embellishment, she always says on a cut with cards, is the person you're sending it to embellishment worthy? Which I think is a lovely idea. So, ooh, now is that... Oh no, that is the right. Yep. Okay. Just seemed a bit odd that that one wasn't the same as these two, but that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So I think that may be the limit to the number of rhinestones I can add. I mean, you know, I could keep going, but I think not is probably the best idea. So let me grab my other bits. So to pop this onto here, I'm going to use glue dots. Now I have two sizes of glue dots. I have the ones that come on the roll, and I also have the ones that come in our kits. On the subject of which, please do remember that we have a sale on kits until the end of the month. They're while stocks last, but they're up to 30% off, and that includes the brand new kit that was only launched recently. Now, is that going to be too big to go on there? I think it is. So I will use my kit dots. So let's, probably only need that many. Probably don't need that many actually. But I do like to keep them because they are very nice little dots, and you get more than you need in any kit, so I keep them. So turn over, and anywhere where we put a rhinestone, we can now put a glue dot. So all those rhinestones that I added with gay abandon now have a second job, which is to hide my glue dots. Because on vellum, you do not want to put glue anywhere where it can be seen, so you need to hide it behind something. So things to think about are you going to put a ribbon, because that will give you a space to hide some glue? Are you going to put an adhesive gem like these, because that will give you somewhere to hide your glue? And I am going to go quite mad on these because there's not really anywhere at the bottom there where I can hide adhesive, so I'm going to put lots at the top in the hope that that will be sufficient to hold everything in place. Just go on these three, and then I will be adhesive out. If this lot doesn't hold it, we're in trouble. I mean, I am asking it to do a lot because it's going to stick onto glitter, which again is not ideal. So let's remove these. I have to check every now and again that my head isn't in the way. Sometimes it just creeps. What I may be able to do behind the heat embossing is roll one of these glue dots. You can use multi-purpose liquid adhesive, but that has a habit of squishing out. I could use some fine tip glue. I actually might do that. I haven't tried fine tip glue for a while. Biggest problem I have with fine tip glue is that my eyesight is such now that getting the pin back into the nozzle is a little bit challenging. Oh, come on. Come along. Thank you. Right, so fine tip glue. Let me just get rid of all those backings. So I've got a 1/4 of an inch margin round the vellum, which I need to remember. So what I'm going to do, this does dry quite quickly. Having a clean nib, always a plan. It's better. So I'm going to run, if it will start moving, come on, thank you. I'm going to run glue along the middle of the tiara, and it might squish out, but because it's behind the tiara, hopefully it won't look too dreadful. And then I'm just going to add some little bits of adhesive where there is a larger area of embossing. And hopefully between all of that it will stick. So let's pop that down. I'm going to press those bits, press that, turn it over and press. I'm going to just do that while I put the pin back in here. And I do find popping everything on a finger and lining it up tends to be the easiest way for me to do that. Right, so I'm going to move that to one side just for a moment while I pop the embossed piece onto my card front. So this is just a half sheet of thick white. So we're going for really quite a simple colour scheme in that we're just doing silver and white with, you know, glitter and iridescence and all that good stuff. Oh, and I've just had a thought about what else would look stunning with this, and I might have to do a second card while I'm away. I mean, as in record it for while I'm away. Right, so that's in place. Pop my lid back on, and I'm going to, this is going to be an expensive card to send, just saying, because I'm going to, ooh, that's stuck. Oh, marvellous. I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. I'm only going to use 5 because it's, this More Dazzle is quite thick, so it doesn't really need much support. It just needs to be held in place. I've already taken the backing off there, can't take it off twice. So there we go. That is my finished card with so much glitter and shine. It's going to be a fun one to try and photograph, but can you see all that? All those little diamonds on the tiara. Stunning. So I hope you have enjoyed that. Let me flip the camera back up. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you did enjoy that. If you did, a thumbs up would be appreciated. If you've got any questions or comments, you can leave those below the description bar. There's a link in the description to the blog post that goes with this video, so you can click on that and you'll see photographs and a bit more information, the shopping list and all that good stuff. If you have got any questions, you can leave those below the description bar, or just leave a comment saying yes you liked it, no you didn't, what you might do with it, that sort of thing. So thank you very much indeed. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.